بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله تعالى وبركاته. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala opens up people's hearts for wisdom and knowledge when they have opened up those hearts to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and they have disciplined and cleansed their hearts from things that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala does not like. In the Quran, in several places, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala speaks about who the people were who received wisdom, who received knowledge from Allah. And in all cases, we will find that they were individuals who had gone through trials, many tests, difficulties, problems. And as an outcome of all of these elements, they had their hearts filled with wisdom. One of the people that the Quran speaks about is Luqman. Now, Luqman was most likely not a prophet of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, but Allah says, وَلَقَدْ آتَيْنَا لُقْمَانَ الْحِكْمَةِ, I gave him wisdom. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala opened up the doors of wisdom for Luqman. And the wisdom began with gratitude. Anishkur lillah. So the first wisdom that Luqman received from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala was how to be grateful in all circumstances, all conditions. Then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says that وَمَنْ يَشْكُرْ فَإِنَّمَا يَشْكُرُ لِنَفْسِهِ. Anyone who is grateful is in fact grateful only to their own benefit. In other words, when a person is grateful to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for something Allah has given them, this is in no way benefiting Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. This is in no way benefiting Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Rather, this is going to benefit that person, because if Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is pleased with the individual, then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will open up the doors of bounty. So showing gratitude is simply a way of acknowledging that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave this to me, and now after acknowledging that He has given it to me, I need to use it in the right way, use it in the best way that I possibly can. And part of that is to use this thing, this bounty, whatever it may be, to get closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala then says that someone who acts ungratefully, if there is someone who does not come with the attitude of gratitude, then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is not in need. He is not in need of their gratitude. He is not in need of their efforts to please Allah. He is not in need of any of those things. So the wisdom of Luqman stemmed and was rooted in learning how to acknowledge and appreciate every favor of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And this is in fact one of the most beautiful exercises that a person can do, is to just sit down and think of all the bounties of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that they are currently enjoying. And like the Quran says, وَإِن تَعُدُّوا نِعْمَةَ اللَّهِ لَا تُحْصُوهَا. If you were to try to enumerate the blessings, the bounties, the favors of Allah, you could not. So having said that, there are many occasions in our lives when we are going through challenges, difficulties, and problems. It is in those moments that this gratitude will come to our side and become one of our greatest allies. Because a person who has a great deal to be grateful for, and they are focused on it, they're understanding it, they're in tune with all of these things that they have, this person will always have so much to boost them through the difficult times. But on the other side, if a person allows the mindset of ingratitude to develop, or they're constantly miserable because their problems are at the front of their head, their problems are always on their mind, and they're they're unable to they're unable to pull free of this mindset. Well, this person is already going to be in a disturbed state, or a delicate state, or a negative state, however you want to look at it. And then when actual problems arise, it makes it so much more difficult to come out of those, to get through them, to beat the challenges, and to come out having gained something. It becomes almost impossible. So, one of the roots of all wisdom, one of the foundations of all wisdom is to learn to acknowledge and appreciate and truly value everything that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given us. Imagine if we started valuing everything that we had and we treated it like something really precious. We treated it like something really important. The way we see life, our resources, our possessions and belongings, our health, our relationships would significantly and dramatically change. And when all of humanity is facing a massive crisis like it is right now, it becomes even more important to come back to some of these basic things and truly give it time. Often, what happens is we hear the talk, we understand whatever it is that we were able to understand, and then we just move on. The flow of life just doesn't stop. But really, what we're talking about here is to take a pause, to stop, and to deliberately think about these things, and to make it a practice of doing so on a regular and ongoing basis. That's when this becomes a remedy for our ailments. It becomes a source of peace for our unrest. It becomes a source of comfort in our in our discomfort. It becomes a source of strength in our moments of weakness. It needs to be done consistently and constantly. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make us from those people and give us that depth of gratitude, of shukr, that enables us to live lives with true joy in our hearts, with true happiness in our hearts. And may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala enable us to share this with others as well. وصلى الله وسلم وبارك على نبينا محمد وعلى آله وأصحابه أجمعين. والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.